So this video was not planned. I had an idea for what I wanted to bake today, and then my husband and I went to church, and football started. It is the first Sunday, football Sunday, what's the term?
First Sunday of the NFL season.
Yeah, it's the first Sunday of the NFL season, week one. And my husband and I both have fantasy football teams. This is my first time having a fantasy football team. I know football okay. I know players not at all. So my husband and I are in a couples fantasy football league, and all we've been talking about today, and all we've been thinking about today and worrying about today has been football. And I was gonna sit here and make another recipe, but I'm like, you know what? I wanna make something football related. So, we're gonna make cake balls, but they're footballs. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I've made cake balls once in my life. Yes. I made cake balls once in my life. I did not find a recipe for this. I found a recipe for cake balls. I don't know if, I feel like balls are similar enough to like footballs that I can probably make them look like footballs without too much trouble. But I don't know. I've never done this before. I also don't know if this recipe is good or not. It looked easy enough. It looked right. I don't know. So we're gonna try it out. There's football going on in the background. My husband, as you heard, is watching football in the same room as me. You're probably gonna hear him from time to time. You're probably gonna hear fantasy football updates from time to time. There's a lot going on. We're gonna make cake balls, but they're footballs. All right, to start things out, we are going to take this cake mix. It is Betty Crocker's Doubtful's Food Cake mix. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. All it needs is eggs, vegetable oil, and water. So I'm gonna combine those all in this bowl. I'm gonna whisk it. I'm gonna whisk it together with a hand mixer on medium, and then that's all there is to prepping this cake. As always, all of my recipes and measurements and directions will be listed on my blog. You can find that in the bio down below. Hey, can you check on my team?
Yeah, he took a little bit of a dive.
No!
I think it was just Lamar showed up.
Freaking Lamar.
Yeah.
He's been doing way too well today.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with
okay,
it.
here's the thing. Lamar Jackson, he's a freaking stud.
Which is fine, but also not at all fine.
Yeah, I know.
I need him to not be a stud.
I think you're like a little bit behind at the moment. Not out of it by
Okay.
any means. You're just a little bit behind at the moment. Like, it wasn't completely unexpected. It was just not something that most people thought was going to happen. So,
This is not going well.
yeah. You are probably okay.
Okay.
You're just like down a little bit at the moment. You're not out of it. You're just trailing.
Yikes.
And who's
Which is unfortunate because most of my players are playing right now.
who's
All my ingredients are in the bowl. Now it's time to whisk them together. I'm going to use a hand mixer because I'm impatient. Come on.
third touchdown of the day? Let's go!
Heck yes!
Let's go! Let's go!
My batter's all mixed together, so we're going to pour it into this 9 by 13 inch pan and pop it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes.
Jacobs. Oh,
Heck yeah!
my projection in that league is at 157. The Mitch is 139.
Okay, my cake is done. Looks great, smells great. I'm going to pop it in the freezer actually and let it cool for 15 to 20 minutes. Hopefully that's only as long as it's gonna take. I'm trying to get it to cool down so that I can actually form it into cake balls without everything melting. So we're gonna pop it in the freezer. Hopefully that helps it all cool down faster. I'll check back in. Quick fantasy football update. I am somehow projected to score highest in the league. I'm looking to score, I think it was 197, right?
Yep, 187.
Yeah, somehow. I don't know what to tell y'all. Go Josh Jacobs. Anyway, so our cake rather, is cooling down. I put some holes in it to try and let it cool faster. It's starting to cool down. It's not cooling as fast as I want, so I don't know if this is gonna help it, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it into the bowl and break it up into pieces and then let it sit there for a few minutes to try and get some of the hot air that might be trapped in the cake out. And then after that's cooled down, I'll go ahead and mix it with the frosting. Okay, now we're gonna break up these chunks into essentially crumbs.
Numbers that shouldn't be enough to win the league. I'll also need Titans defense to not get torched
Yeah,
by the Broncos. So,
I'm rooting for the kicker.
Greg the leg.
Greg the leg! Anyways. Okay, so that actually seemed to cool off my cake pretty nicely. I think it's all cooled down right now and it's not going to melt the frosting, which is a plus. So now we're going to add a cup of frosting to our cake mixture. I'm using Betty Crocker's Rich and Creamy chocolate frosting. Again, nothing crazy, nothing fancy here. I'm trying to keep most of the flavors and colors brown, just so it makes everything look more football-y. You could do something else if you wanted to. Follow your heart. I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and add a cup of frosting to my cake mixture, and then I'm going to mix it together until it's a texture that I can actually form into our football shapes. I think I'm going to try and use this tablespoon to shape our footballs. So I'm going to take, that doesn't look like enough. Maybe I'll just use it to measure them. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I've got this rounded little mound of cake batter, and I'm going to take that, roll it into a ball, and then we're gonna like squish it a little bit and try and make it into a football shape. I don't know if this is gonna work. Maybe roll it like that. Okay. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's kind of football-y. Does that look kind of football-y to you? Okay. We're gonna go with that. I'm going to make the rest of our footballs and then I'll check back in and we're going to dip them in chocolate. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous about these footballs holding their shape, so I'm gonna put them in the fridge for a few minutes while I prep my chocolate, and hopefully that will kind of help them solidify together and maybe this won't be a disaster. They're not looking great, y'all. I tried. It's kind of football-y. We'll see. Our footballs are cooling in the fridge, hopefully getting a lot more solid and staying together. So I'm going to make our melted chocolate. I just have some mini chocolate chips and some vegetable oil. I'm gonna add about 4.5 tablespoons of oil to the chocolate chips, and then I'm going to microwave it for 30-second increments until it's all melted and smooth. Okay, so it looks like our chocolate is all melted down and smooth. It's looking nice and glossy. I really only ended up microwaving it for about 1 minute and 15 seconds total, I think. It melted pretty quickly. So what we're gonna attempt to do is take these footballs and place them in the chocolate. I'm gonna use a spoon to kind of move them around and cover them, and then we're gonna try and neatly put them back on here. I anticipate this getting very messy. We're gonna do our best. Alright, our little cake ball footballs are all covered in chocolate. They still look iffy, but I'm hoping that once we put the white frosting on them and make the little football details, they will kind of all come together and look more football-y than lumpy. So, I'm gonna pop these in the fridge for about 25 to 30 minutes before I try and put the icing on them. If they're not cool by then, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them in there longer. My husband and I are going over to my in-laws for dinner, so I'll leave them in the fridge while we're at dinner, and then when I come back, we'll put the finishing touches on them and I'll show you how they turned out. We're back. We ended up having to go to dinner before I could put the finishing touches on these football cake balls. So it's been about 3 hours or so. But now I'm going to take this, I'm going with a theme here, Betty Crocker cookie icing, and I'm going to use it to draw on the details of the football to hopefully make these guys look like proper footballs. So I was testing some of them and they're kind of messy, so just a warning. This chocolate likes to melt in your hand, so when you're doing the decorations, just know that you might get some more chocolate on you. What happened?
Zeke, feed him.
We are still watching football. Update on the Fantasy Football League. I won my game. Garrett's waiting on a few players for the Cowboys, so he's waiting on Zeke, Amari, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, those are the main people he's waiting on before he'll know if he won or not. But I actually won somehow. Not sure how. So I'm going to do some decorating on these footballs, and then hopefully we will have our football cake balls. So I'm gonna try and, let's see, let's take one that looks kind of like a football. This one looks kind of like football. Okay, I'm probably gonna have this melt on me a little bit, but I'm gonna draw the little lines and the little stitching in the middle. Let's see. Oh, this is not my best work. It's harder than I thought. Okay, we're just gonna do... Oh no, who's doing so good? Okay. Okay, well that's a little iffy. But we have one. Yeah, these melt in your hand a bunch. So, I would... Oh, that's good. Wow, the chocolate's really good. I would recommend, when you decorate this, go ahead and decorate it like on a flat surface. Don't decorate it like I was doing in your hand, because it will melt on you. Also, probably eat these with a fork, or with just a bunch of napkins, whichever. Yeah, I'm gonna attempt to decorate these on the pan, so hopefully I have a little bit more success. So I will let y'all see that, and then I'll check back in. Here they are! They're not that pretty, but that's okay. I learned a lot of things. I learned that icing is hard to use. Icing is also hard to make look good. I think chocolate and icing don't mix. I don't know. But these guys came out looking a little bit rough. But that's okay. They were fun to make. I made them on a whim. I'm gonna try them. I'm sure they taste good. It's chocolate with chocolate. That can't really go that wrong. But yeah, if you are a professional baker or a professional decorator, like baked good decorator, or if you are just particularly skilled with that kind of thing, let me know what I did. I don't know what I did wrong. Yeah, if you're following along at home, just do better than me. But I'm not upset. They're still cake balls. Like, you really can't be that mad at cake balls. So, I'm gonna try them, and I'll let you know what I think. But that's my initial thoughts on how these came out. I'll give you a close-up. These are not the prettiest footballs in the world. These are not the footballs you're gonna wanna give to a team that's gonna play in the NFL. These are like, we're putting together a football league. We're gonna play in my backyard. We're getting some family members together. Here's the footballs we have on hand. But that's okay. Yeah, again, this was fun to do. I did this on a whim. I had no idea how it was gonna turn out. And it turned out all right, and I'm okay with that. So, now let's do a taste test. Do you wanna come look at these?
I'd like to have some.
Okay. I'll give you one. I'll try and get you one that like looks passably football-y.
I guess it's time to come see.
Yeah, come see him.
Your little hodgepodge of failure.
My hodgepodge of failure.
What's your
It didn't come out very well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of rough. It's not my best work.
They look good. They look really good.
Thanks, babe. Can always count on your support. Yeah, I'll get you one. They're also kind of sticky.
You didn't freeze them, did you?
I didn't say to freeze them.
You have to freeze them.
You have to freeze them?
That's the only way that they come out like hard enough.
You have to freeze them? I didn't know you had to freeze
or else
them.
the stuff on the outside stays too like mushy.
Oh
This is
no!
what I've always done. I always think they taste better frozen. That's how they do it at Starbucks.
I don't
How do you
know.
think they get the shell so crunchy?
I don't know. I've made cake balls once and it didn't come out well.
I made cake balls one time and they were amazing.
Well, good for you.
Frozen. I made those Oreo cake balls. They tasted fantastic.
Okay. Anyone following along at home, freeze your cake balls. I'm gonna go ahead and get some for us to try. And then I'm gonna freeze the rest of them and hopefully that'll make them easier to eat with your hands. But apparently that's what I did wrong. My bad. I'm sorry. That's my fault. Yikes. Anyways, yeah, I'll give these a try. And I'll let you know what I think. Alright, we're gonna try these melty cake balls. I want your honest opinion. Let me know what you think.
Well, I guess I do have to eat it with a fork.
Yeah, they're melty.
Oops.
I'm gonna put, I put them in the freezer, so the other ones should be better, but yeah, let me know what you think.
Well, it is mushy.
Yeah. It's not dry.
Mm-mm. It's good.
Yeah,
It tastes pretty good.
actually,
Mm-hmm.
all the meltiness aside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. See? Chocolate with chocolate, you really can't go wrong. I'm gonna
It's
try
very
them.
yummy.
No, Dixie, this is not for you. Okay, yeah, they are good.
Mm-hmm.
Good recipe, can't
Hard to
fault.
mess up cake.
Yeah. I can't fault the person I got the recipe from. Good cake ball recipe. I just, I executed poorly. So, I'll put them in the freezer. Would recommend y'all do that if you try it, but otherwise, this was a fun experiment, and sometimes experiments go badly, and that's okay. Kind of the fun thing about cooking and experiments with cooking is most of the time, even if it doesn't turn out the way you want it to, a lot of times you still get something tasty. So those are cake balls, but they're actually footballs. But they're actually not really footballs. But I tried to make them footballs. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you make this recipe and you make it better, please let me know what you do. I'm sure it's not hard to make it better than I did. But feel free to give this recipe a try. Like I said at the beginning of the video, the recipe for the cake balls will be in the bio, and I'll include some steps on what I did to try and make them look like cake balls, or to try and make the cake balls look like footballs. If you find something that works better, let me know. I'm always open to learning new things, and clearly I'm not an expert at making cake balls. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. I just want footballs. I just want footballs. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
You good?
Yeah. I don't know if these are looking like footballs. I think once I put the little like white markings on them, they will.
Mhm.
They look a little questionable right now.
You mean it looks like turds?
Yeah. I feel like I have a baking sheet.
Like little brown oblong things. They look questionable. You mean turds.
Yeah.